Good evening, all. What can I say? I'm at this time of the day, and am I the only person in between the party? Or can I say that I'm the way for you guys to party? So let's take the second way. So I'm going to keep it as exciting as possible. To get started, I started as a satellite developer. So that's how I started. I built satellites as part of MIT. I got a chance to work with Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam when he was a president. So he was supporting and guiding us through the process. He's been always the man for me, and that's the reason why I chose that college. So I started as a hardcore instrumentation engineer. During the course, I embraced the tech, but beyond a point, I realized I'm not going to be super excited continuing working as a satellite developer. So I decided to make a shift, and that's when I chose immersive technologies. Augmented reality, virtual reality, it required a different skill set. I'm talking about 2008. So for me, being an analytical guy, I decided why not let me give it a try and started taking this as a passion. And since it was my passion which drove me, I started building my career around it. So during the course, I was working for TCS, quit the company, started my company, done 500 plus projects, got a good recognition. Finally, I took an exit by selling this to the Hindu group of companies. And post that, I focused more on the augmented reality and also the artificial intelligence side. Because man has been doing this wonders for the last so many million years. And now with the dispense of technology, we should start embracing it and start seeing how it can help and make our job easier. We were all born as a kid, we have kids. I just have a young daughter who is 2 weeks old. And it kind of put me in a different path. Now I start realizing, okay, there's something new happening. Then what I decided to do was, okay, what is going to happen? So we keep feeding her like a baby. And once she starts becoming by herself, we stop doing what we do. And the baby becomes probably a teenager and starts living her life. That's how it is. And that's how we have to look at technology as well. So where we started was we started with design, especially in the print, where it was done all by hand. In the last 2 decades, we started introducing digital tools like Photoshop, CorelDRAW. There was immense resistance when these tools came into picture. They said it's going to take away humans' jobs. But it stayed. Now it has got saturated. Now we are moving to the next level, and it's not the future, it is right now. We are using AI for designs, and it's already started doing wonders. And on the left, what you see is an AI art which I created in 4 minutes. If I had to do the same rendering, it's a 3D, very high fidelity 3D rendering. In a current high fidelity GPUs, I would need at least a week's time. It's super complex. And if you look a little bit deeper, it is exactly my face which got rendered in a different manner. And all I had to do was, I had to give 4 words on top of my picture. That's it. It created this amazing art for me. And this is super scalable. What I mean is, you can scale this to millions in packaging. I'm going to give another quick example. BMW's electrical cars, 95% of it, it's all personalized. Each car is custom made. And they're doing it at a massive scale. It's super, and it's happening right now. That's the level of personalization which is happening. Cadbury's, again, Mondelez International, which is the parent company, they have started testing this already. You can go and raise a request for I think as low as 50 chocolates. You can send your custom design, and it gets shipped to you. And it follows the same super complex conventional process. But how is it happening, and how is it possible? It's purely because of AI. Now I'm going to go a little deeper. But before that, I also want to tell you what's my connect with print. So while my mainstream job is around AR, artificial intelligence, I've got super vested interest in sustainable solutions. So with a few entrepreneurs, we started looking at water, because water is a massive problem. Water is going to be the biggest problem in the next 10 years or 20 years. We are not far away from that. Making water from air is a project which I've been working on. Right now, it's super expensive, the process. But we keep spending our energy to see how we can make it better. The second one, which I'm working with the Indian government and the Tamil Nadu government, is using agriculture waste into recyclable bags and papers. I'm not from this background, but my passion for technology, and since I'm from Anna University as well, I've been working with the right minds here, trying to see how we could channelize the people's energy, students' energy, into something more meaningful at some point which can be scaled. Because most of the products or most of the research that happens in colleges, they stay as research. They do it like to get a good grade, and beyond a point, most of them, they don't take it to a product, because two different things. Research and products are two different pipelines. There's too many factors. So that's where I wanted to take my knowledge when I ran as a startup, take all the knowledge and see how some meaningful research could be converted into a scalable product. Metaverse. So all the technologies that I've been talking about, from AR, AI, it's being called metaverse. Right now, each one of us are consuming it or contributing it knowingly or unknowingly. And there is also super resistance from people. People say this is a myth. But the truth is, it is going to be the biggest industry. It's evaluated to $1 trillion by McKinsey by 2030. It's no joke. There is still resistance. People are not ready to accept. Again, I'm going to look back in the history. 20 years back, when internet came into picture, there was exactly the same resistance and same patterns. People were rejecting it. But over a period of time, when they started trying things out, I'm not saying we should shift our business into a new line, but we should start trying things out. That is called COEs, Centers of Excellences, probably which we should form. Tie up with colleges, try experimenting in very small projects, and see if it actually benefits to your process. And then, so that you are at least ready, when these technologies become economical, you can start adopting it so that you don't have to walk the whole path again. And what you see here on the left, all this metaverse started in 1800s with paper. And this particular artifact that you're seeing was done in 1810 by a designer. I'm sure each one of you have experienced virtual reality. The concept of what virtual reality could do is what is being showcased there. Multi-layered 2.5D experience. You just put your eye close there and you get to see a different world. And this was done in 1800s. And that's how it has been always said. But during the 4 evolutions which happened, we are at the 4th industrial revolution right now. Nobody talks about it, because we don't have to talk about it. It's going to happen by itself. The first revolution, from steam to the printing to internet to where we are right now. The succession is going to continue. And what's happening right now is something we should be aware of. It's not machine which is doing the job for us. 200 years back, there was no machine. It was all man-made, from papers to everything. Then machines came into picture, which started doing the job for us, making all the repetitive tasks easier for us, and to support the scalability. It has already hit the saturation. We should start realizing it. What is new? Introduce artificial intelligence to do all the heavy lifting jobs for us. And rather, we spend our valuable human mind into only things where it needs you. We should start accepting the change and start doing it in a very casual manner, so that you also start seeing profits and returns while you keep investing. Three areas where AI is making super big impacts and is bringing revenues as well. There are 10 other areas, but we are going to only focus on 3 areas. Design. So when I say design, it's not only the end user design. the whole user experience. So when I touch a product, how it should feel, the colors that it should carry, it's all a user experience driven pipeline, which has already been said because we follow the amazing Pantone color palettes, which has again been standardized for us. We don't need to spend more time. But let's start thinking beyond it, and we are not going to do that. AI is going to do that for us. All we need to do is start using these programs to guide us through what has to be done. Design is a place where it's already begun. Personalizing every product to a level of 1% or 100% accuracy from where it is right now. Right now, when you look at the personalization happening for Pepsi, during any occasion, they try to put in a flavor of, if it is cricket season, they try to change the label to a cricket layer and send it out. Just imagine that you are having a small party and you want like 100 bottles of Pepsi or even 100 packs of Cadbury chocolates, which you want to give it as a giveaway. If you look at the notebook which we got this morning, I think he already started doing it, but it's in a very smaller scale, right? It had our names. Just imagine this has to be done at a large scale. Classmates have already started experimenting this. They're able to ship, I think, as low as 50 copies, where you can put your picture in the front of your notebooks and start shipping it. And you use it for your day-to-day basis. People started getting this likeliness for having everything personalized. So that's the next level of satisfaction where there's a huge demand. We should start using AI for that, if you want to really scale it to a large level. The other reason I'm saying AI is not here to die is because we are already using AI in our everyday basis. It's just not in our face. Because our movies have taught us that, hey, a robot has to look like a humanoid walking around doing tasks for it. But actually, if you see, we have robots around us. The CCTV cameras have super fidelity vision. It can detect when a person is passing by. It is a robot. Just that it doesn't look like a human walking, recognizing people. But right now, every ODC in any IT company, it recognizes who is walking in and maps it to a person, to an ID. Bengaluru has every cameras installed, and we are already working in a project. Every traffic cameras, it's going to recognize the vehicle plates, and it could do a triangulation of where the car is moving. These are robots, just that it doesn't have a human form. So that's how we are going to look at all these robotics, and we should start accepting that it's already part of our lives. If you have anybody made any recent call to ICICI, you would have realized that the boring IVR is gone. Airtel doesn't have the IVR anymore. There is a bot, it's called natural language processing. There is an AI bot which talks to you like a human. You can ask questions, it'll understand what you're asking, and it'll give you responses. People get deceived that, okay, that's not the human that you're talking to. And they ask random questions and then they realize that, okay, that's not a human, but it's human-alike. This is a super powerful bot. It's possible because of the GPUs. It requires a supercomputer to have such a powerful engagement conversation. Right now, everything is available. Everything is in the cloud. It's happening behind us, and we don't need to know about it. Because to our end users, it's going to come in a form factor which we can consume it. Say NVIDIA, say Amazon, they're already providing all these fabulous platforms. All we'll have to do is build on top of it and start using it in our process. That's where I'm going towards. Third area is sustainability. The idea is not about, again, saving the earth. Yes, that's the main reason why we are talking about sustainable solutions in practice, that everybody should start looking at this UN Sustainability Development Goals. But if you start following it, over a period of time, you will start saving money. Money saved is money earned. So that's how the sustainability goals are going to help us. I'm going to show you some live examples especially in print industry, in packaging industry, how digital twins and sustainable follow-up has saved them millions of dollars. And I'm not talking about the future. Whatever I'm showing you now is readily available. It's a matter of looking in a different direction and start embracing it. All these complex designs, it looks like straight out of Avatar movie. All I required was 4 minutes of computer time to render each one of them. Just 4 minutes. If I had to create such a world, such a human character, I need 10 different designers with 10 different skill sets. And it would require at least 2 weeks of time, probably a few lakhs of money. Now it's all been packaged and available in such a form factor. And it's super highly scalable. Which means if you are looking at applying this for packaging, you can start looking in this direction right now. There are players, there are solutions. It's a matter of just getting the right consulting done and moving in that direction. Very interesting use case, which you could easily relate to using computer vision. This is another powerful robot. Every facility has a CCTV camera. I'm sure even your factories have CCTV cameras. But the way we start using it is like, okay, there'll be few security guys who will keep a watch. Or when there is an incident, that's when we go back to the tapes and saying, hey, what happened on this time, on this day? Even the current Indian movies showcase the same thing. But that's not where we are right now. There are very cost-effective solutions available where all these feeds can be automated. And that's being already implemented in all factories right now. Automobile industry, I'm talking about at least 95% of Indian facilities have an AI enablement for their computer, especially the CCTV cameras. It's called computer vision. All the feeds go through a program. It's already given data. If there is oil spillage in your factory, if there is fire, it will automatically trigger a message to the right person so that he could take the corrective actions. All of this is possible right now, and it's happening. So you can apply the same logic. This is one right-away solution that you can get started with. Not just that, you can use computer vision to manage and assure 100% accuracy in the way packaging is done or in the way the whole factory functions. And here again, we don't need a man behind every process. All we need is a program, which is again man-made, which will decide whether the packaging is done right. And this is being already implemented. Like what I'm showing you is a collection of some of the big brands who are currently using computer vision to identify anomalies when the packaging is being made. If there is any issues, it would be able to already mark it as a bad anomaly and is going to chuck it out of the operation line. Another very interesting use case of computer vision. Okay, don't mind the audio. So it is going to help you in achieving sustainability and also the right packaging. Think about the Amazon orders. I am sure it's super sustainable. We don't need to complain about it. All the packages are it's self-decomposable and all of that. But in reality, if you see, I have like 30 Amazon boxes in my house just for that. It's become super cheap, all these boxes. But if you imagine, if I'm going to order a small phone, but I get a super big box. But it's not only the box that matters. The cost which goes into transportation. Instead of shipping 100 phones, I end up shipping only 10 phones because of the size of box that we are putting out there. And it's beyond that. Using this self-sustained packaging technique, you're going to save money at the core. You're going to reduce the form factor, which means less materials. Less cost is involved during transportation. And beyond that, you're still supporting Mother Earth. And that's how we should look at it. Because all the money and the sustainable solution, it should not be that, okay, we are going to lose $100 million to save Mother Earth. Yes, we need to save those 100 millions and still find a way to save Mother Earth. And that's how it's going to be win-win for all of us. Three things, I think I covered it all. Saving OpEx, sustainable solutions is doing a great job in reducing your OpEx over a period of time. You may not realize it on day one because you have to invest in something. You will start realizing over a period of time. And when you implement, you will already get a vision around when you're going to strike your ROI. How long is it? Like 3 years or 5 years? When are you going to break even? But beyond that, it's going to be pure profit. So this is the vision that probably each one can start inculcating, so that at some point you can start connecting with it and see that, okay, this is a win-win. It's not just I'm going to blindly follow someone saying that, okay, I'm saving Mother Earth. There is going to be a win, but it's going to take its time. Oh, the second part is like, I've seen that all these pep talks which happen, right? When we enter into a leadership talk, I think most of us are leaders. I was a leader once. I'm still a leader. I try to have this positive talk with people. Not always that I need to talk about work, but I try to talk positive. The only intention here is to boost their morality. As a company, if I'm already started to follow something like to save Mother Earth, nothing bigger than that, it's already going to boost their morality. And this has been proven very successful. And there's been Harvard studies on it, why a company started following sustainable goals, has started to see a drastic change in the psychological behavior of the employees and the brand awareness that it's been creating.
Leading European supplier of premium lightweight paperboards. With the amount of packaging increasing, it's absolutely critical to improve sustainability and reduce carbon footprint, use more renewable materials, lightweight packages, avoid overpacking.
I think it has some subtitles.
All that will be translated. 90 grams cereal.
This is actually a very important study which I wanted to showcase to you. So the company is embracing AI. They're using sustainable solutions. And they're also using digital twin to reduce their OpEx. And they're talking about real numbers. I'll try to get the audio back because it's a very interesting audio, I would say. If it works, it works. Otherwise, I'll figure out a way to send this across to you.
Recommend their application. And sometimes customers require more advanced parameters. For example, box compression test results. And that then requires us to create a physical prototype, make the box, and then scale that. That was the initial approach. Now we have set a database with different materials using that database.
No, this is close to that.
simple ones, and then we can test for Board is a leading European supplier of premium lightweight paperboards. With the amount of packaging increasing, it's absolutely critical to improve sustainability. Reduce carbon footprint, use more renewable materials, lightweight packages, avoid waste, avoid overpacking. We are producing 1.3 million tons of folding boxboard. If all that would be translated into 19-gram cereal boxes, that equals 160 million packages a day. If you can save 1% of that, it equals 1.6 million packages every day, an equal amount of carbon footprint saving in reducing transportation emissions and so forth. We use this example to demonstrate how even a small decrease has a global impact. A very typical question from our customers is the paperboard, what we could recommend in their application. And sometimes customers required more advanced parameters, for example, box compression test results. And that then required us to create a physical prototype, make the box, transport it into our laboratory, do the testing, and then have a discussion with the customer. That was the initial approach. Now we have set a database for different materials. Using that database, we can then generate digital twins, then create it into a box design the customer wants, and then we can test, for example, the box compression strength test. Or even more, we can even simulate some situations where the packages are used, like drop test or grip handling, for example. Now we can do the comparison of different materials, having the design of the customer in a matter of days using the platforms we have. We have compared and we have observed that we can be up to 85% faster. We are also able to test in virtual world different kind of designs, for example, and get some fundamental understanding what are the critical factors in designing the package, designing the window cuts, for example. Sometimes it relates to improving packaging performance, quite often actually to sustainability. The whole beauty is in the fact that we save a lot of time. Physical prototype approach took typically, say, 3 weeks. And now we are able to provide response to the customer in a matter of 1 or 2 days. We think that we are a leading company in providing this kind of capability to our customers. I believe that circular economy requires a lot of value chain cooperation. And I think that these kind of platforms enable a systemic approach to designing packages and reusing and circulating them in circular economy loop.
So, I think in this example, you would have seen some crazy takeaways. One, which could be your day-to-day problem that you're solving or fighting. When there is a new request for a custom design, we all go through, one is the actual design phase, user research. Then there is a phase called prototyping. All this put together in India, when I did the research, it comes always to close to 3 to 4 weeks, considering the backs and forth. But in reality, it could be bigger or even, I don't know, much, maybe double the size. But think about it, if you apply the layer of AI and virtual twin as how it's being used here, you can drastically reduce it by 200 times. I'm not talking about 2x, I'm talking about 200x. Apply this for the scale of business that you're already doing. The value that is going to bring in is humongous. And you'll start seeing benefits when you start doing smaller POCs, start seeing the success, and then scale it up to your entire factory level. So these are some areas where I wanted to share some insights. And all these information is available in the web. It's not like I don't own any of this, but I've been working on even bigger projects in printing, which I'm not able to share at this point. These are ongoing. But I've got a massive project which you might be aware of. Saudi Arabia is building a city, NEOM. I've been working on that project. I'm one of the team who is working on it for the last three to 4 years. I started this journey with BCG, Boston Consulting Group, and right now I'm at NVIDIA. I'm going to play a quick video. It's going to talk about, it will look like a fantasy video. The construction has already begun. This place is the first phase is going to be launched next year, and in the next 5 years, they're going to launch the entire NEOM city. It's happening. And it's no joke. This video will give you all the possibilities that you might have seen from the fantasy movies. It's happening right now. And the scale is super big. They're building a 170-kilometer long city, which is going to be a single strip of line in the middle of desert, and 100% sustainable, 100% renewable energy. So I'm going to present this video as a closing note. This is not to say like, okay, this is where we should be, but this is kind of setting the right message to the countries around the world that things are possible at this point. And this is going to be staying as a living example. Thank you.